Well, Democrats had a choice to make yesterday, and they made it. Was it going to be Joe Dementia Biden or Bernie the Commie Sanders? And they chose the guy with dementia. Bernie supporters have been left stunned and shell-shocked over the shellacking that Bernie Sanders took on Super Tuesday Part 2, the sequel. He lost Michigan. Michigan was significant in 2016 because he absolutely trounced Hillary in a comeback from behind win that really gave the Bernie bros momentum in a delusional, warped fantasy that they were going to actually get the nomination away from the most corrupt politician to have ever stood and run for anything, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And now they're seeing it slip away again, and they're despondent. Despite Cenk Uygur wanting to fight, well, Kyle over at Secular Talk is, I'm going to have to pray for him, even though he's an atheist, an agnostic, a God denier. I'm going to pray for him because he's almost despondent. You have Jimmy Dore, who is angry that Bernie has not mounted a real fight. Upset that he's rolling over and playing dead. And today, Bernie Sanders held a press conference and he surrendered.
While our campaign has won the ideological debate, we are losing the debate over electability.
Did he actually say what I just think he said? Did he just admit he is not electable?
While our campaign has won the ideological debate, we are losing the debate over electability. I cannot tell you how many people our campaign has spoken to who have said, and I quote, "I like what your campaign stands for. I agree with what your campaign stands for, but I'm going to vote for Joe Biden because I think Joe is the best candidate to defeat Donald Trump." End of quote. We have heard that statement all over this country. Needless to say, I strongly disagree with that assertion. But that is what millions of Democrats and independents today believe.
So millions of people have told him he's not electable. But he's going to stay in and he wants to debate Joe Biden on Sunday. You understand that the Biden people are almost giddy over this? Biden's got about 800 some odd delegates. Bernie's got 600 something delegates. They need, 1900 delegates. They're about to be able, I'm talking about the Biden people, they're about to be able to really do what they want to do, which is eliminate Bernie, and then they can really regulate and moderate Joe Biden's public exposure. They'll do it through videos. They'll do it through carefully crafted interviews and staging and internet, and they'll use that to show that their guy is on top of it. He is ready to take on President Trump. The only thing they're going to have their heart and their throat over is when they have to actually put Biden on a stage next to Donald Trump. That said, Bernie knows this. Bernie could go after Joe on his dementia, Alzheimer's. He won't do it. He keeps referring to Joe Biden as his friend. And you Bernie bros better pay attention to this. Today in his press conference, he all but surrendered to Joe Biden, and he's saying how much he's looking forward to debating Joe, yet he gives Joe the test questions ahead of time.
And let me be very frank as to the questions that I will be asking Joe. Joe, what are you going to do for the 500,000 people who go bankrupt in our country because of medically related debt?
I know you're wondering in your questions, Bernie, what is Joe going to do for the working man? Same thing that he always does. Swear at them, push them, tell them they're stupid, and tell them to go vote for somebody else. Because Joe isn't about the working man.
Joe, how are you going to respond to the scientists who tell us we have 7 or 8 years remaining to transform our energy system before irreparable harm takes place to this planet because of the ravages of climate change? Joe, at a time when most young people need a higher education to make it into the middle class, what are you going to do to make sure that all of our people can go to college or trade school regardless of their income? And what are you going to do about the millions of people who are struggling with outrageous levels of student debt?
The Biden people know exactly what that was. He's telling them over these inane questions, and there were several others, it gives them an opportunity to prepare some quick, simple answers that Joe should be able to handle on stage. And then that way, you ready for this, Bernie Bros? Bernie can say after the debate at some point, Joe Biden really gave some satisfactory answers there, and I can support this because, after all, we have to agree that the most important thing is beating Donald Trump. And you Bernie Bros like, no, we're going to fight. We're not going to take this Joe Biden. He's worse than Donald Trump. We can't be stuck with the establishment pick again. But Bernie has already signaled that is exactly what he's going to do as long as Joe gives the carefully scripted, correct answers.
Donald Trump must be defeated, and I will do everything in my power to make that happen. On Sunday night, in the first one-on-one debate of this campaign, the American people will have the opportunity to see which candidate is best positioned to accomplish that goal.
Boom. There it is. And let me tell you what's happening right now behind closed doors. Joe, Hillary got me a really nice house to get behind her campaign in 2016. What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me, Joe? Or should I ask one of your people that actually has all the mental faculties functioning? What are you going to do for me? What do you want from me to bring my people over so that you can face Donald Trump on a united front? What's in it for me? See, that's where the capitalist side of Bernie Sanders is going to come into play. How do you Bernie Bros feel about that? He sold you out again. He could never recover from the communist ideology that he's been espousing. And when he got called on it, he didn't have an answer. He wasn't going to in any way shriek back from what he had to say. And I know there's a part of him that is miffed. Barack Obama has these same views. And he does. He does. He just markets them better than you do. He just packages them better than you do. He went over there and did the wave with the Castro brothers at a baseball game. In a regime that has been totally totalitarian. You know, Bernie, at least you were able to say, I don't support the totalitarian governments, but I do like the beautiful chandeliers they hang in their public transit stations. Those are wonderful. Those are magnificent. I know in Russia they don't have food and they don't have freedom, but they really do have really pretty train stations. And they have ballet and puppet shows for children. It's wonderful. It's just marvelous. You're right, Bernie. You're completely out of touch with mainstream America. You scare them to death, and you're not electable. And the flip side is, now they got Joe Dementia Biden. Woohoo! That's the vote. And all of you Bernie Bros, you've been hammered again. You progressive left, what are you going to do? Because you know it's coming now. Bernie has sent up the signals. He's crystal clear on this. He's giving Joe Biden the cheat sheet, get him ready, get him spoon-fed. There's going to be no gotcha moment at the next debate. It's going to be a snooze fest. And that gives Bernie then the cover to come out and say, Joe agrees with us now on the issues that are near and dear to our heart. I can now get behind his campaign. I'm out, and wait till you see the yacht that I got. Bernie, the surrendering sellout. Wow. What a revolutionary. Oh, Hunter, it's now open season on what you were up to in Ukraine and China. Don't think President Trump is going to roll over and play dead like Bernie. Hey, that's it for this rant. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Smack the bell for notification of my rants, and you gotta click the word all or you'll never hear that I've been ranting.